The seed packet was on the storage room shelf. Lee Dong-jun stopped. A small old paper packet, smaller than his palm. The opening was tied with a cord that had faded and stiffened with age. On the outside of the packet, his father's handwriting, small and precise, faded with time but still readable. Could not plant them. Return to Choe Sun-bong. A name he had never once heard in his life. Choe Sun-bong. Not from his father, not in 22 years of living together. He carefully opened the cord at the top and tilted the packet. Seeds, old seeds, small and dark, brown and black mixed together. He counted them. 22. He retied the cord and looked at the packet for a long time. His father had farmed a small plot behind the house. Every spring he went out to it alone. He turned the soil, added compost, planted seeds, tended through the summer, harvested in autumn. That had been his father's work. His father had been a farmer in the quiet sense, even after retirement. This seed packet, however, had never been planted. For 25 years, returned to Choe Sun-bong, a person his father had never mentioned. His father had died 31 days ago. Before dawn, he had come out of his room to find him on the floor. Heart failure. His heart had been weak for years. The evening before, dinner, television, the usual cough, bed. Nothing more. The funeral had passed. His older brother had come from far away and left after 3 days. Dong-jun remained alone. His mother had died when he was 17. After that, he and his father had lived in this house together for 22 years. Now only Dong-jun remained. He had not been able to move a single thing from his father's room. Not the cushion, not the teacup, not the slippers by the door. For a full month he had put off sorting. Today he had forced himself into the storage room. Farming tools on the walls, old spades, a rusted sickle, seed packets arranged on shelves. And at the very back of the innermost shelf, this one. His father had been a quiet man. He swept the yard. He worked the field. He set dinner on the table each evening. They ate and watched television and said very little. For 22 years, Dong-jun had never once asked his father what he was carrying inside. His father had never offered. That was how this house had worked. And yet this seed packet had been sitting at the back of that shelf the whole time. Could not plant them. Returned to Choe Sun-bong. 25 years. He put the packet in his coat pocket, and the next morning went to find the oldest resident of the village. A man in his late 70s who had known his father since they were young. He found him warming himself in the spring sun in his yard. He showed the old man the packet and said the name, Choe Sun-bong. The old man closed his eyes briefly, then opened them. He said, I know that name. He and your father were acquainted from their young days. He was from this village. He left a long time ago. I heard a few years back that he was living in the village across the river. Whether he is still alive I cannot say. He would be very old now. Same age as your father. Dong-jun asked, do you know if something happened between the two of them? The old man shook his head. Not the details. I heard there was a disagreement over a field matter when they were young. Seeds were involved somehow. That is all I know. Your father never spoke of it. 2 days later Dong-jun boarded the morning bus toward the river crossing. An hour and a half. A village he had never visited. Wind off the water. April, but the river wind carried something older in it. Small quiet village. He asked a man near the station whether anyone knew Choe Sun-bong. The man nodded. He lives at the south end of the village, beside the field. Old man, getting on in years. He walked. Gray walls. The sound of the river somewhere behind him. The village ended where the fields began. A plot of turned earth. Someone had prepared it recently. Beside it stood a small old house. He knocked. Slow, heavy footsteps. The door opened. A man close to 80. Very stooped. Nearly all white hair. Thin face. But his eyes were clear and sharp. Worn old coat. Soil on his hands. He had just come in from the field. He looked at Dong-jun without speaking. Dong-jun said, "My name is Lee Dong-jun. I am the son of Lee Sung-man. My father died 31 days ago. I found this while sorting through his storage room." He held out the seed packet. The old man's face changed. His eyes narrowed. They fixed on the packet. He reached out and took it, then stopped. He stood with the packet resting in his open palm. His fingers moved slowly over the surface, over the faded handwriting on the outside. He looked at it for a long time. He touched the cord tied at the top. His lips moved very slightly without sound. Something moved in his eyes, old and deep. He exhaled, slow and long. He said, "Sung-man has gone. Come in." They sat across a worn wooden table. On the wall, a photograph. Two young men standing in a summer field, both smiling at the camera. Dong-jun looked at the face on the left and stopped breathing. His father, young, far younger than Dong-jun had ever seen him, but unmistakably his father. Those eyes, that small crease near the nose. Standing in a green field beside this man, smiling. Dong-jun had never once seen his father smile like that. The old man set the seed packet on the table between them. Dong-jun pointed to the writing on the outside. "Could not plant them. Return to Choe Sun-bong." He said, "My father kept this for 25 years on the back of his storage shelf." He said nothing about it. Not once in 22 years. The old man was quiet for a long time. April wind pressed at the window. The turned field was visible through the curtain gap. Then he began. 25 years ago I was not yet living here. I lived near your father's village at that time. We had known each other since we were young. Our plots were neighboring. Some springs we shared seeds. That year I lent your father these seeds. They had been in our family a long time. My grandfather's grandfather had kept them going. They were suited to our soil here. The specific soil, the water, the air of this village. They do not grow well in other earth. Your father wanted to try planting them. I was glad to let him. But that spring I had to move suddenly. There was a family matter. I had to leave quickly. I could not ask for the seeds back. I just went. I thought I would be in touch later. Contact was difficult. Time passed. I thought of the seeds sometimes. But it became old business. Your father must have tried to return them. He was not able to. That would be the whole of it. Dong-jun breathed slowly. The old man said, "Do you know what kind of seeds these are?" Your father would not have told you. These are a strain of beans our family has kept for generations. They are suited to this soil here. This village. They do not grow the same way in other earth. Your father knew that. He could not plant them. He knew they were not his earth. So he kept them and waited for the right time to return them. Dong-jun said quietly, "So that is why he wrote could not plant them." He understood the seeds belonged somewhere else. The old man nodded. Sung-man always understood the land. He would have known from the beginning that these seeds needed to come home. Dong-jun's eyes burned. He closed them slowly and opened them again. 25 years of keeping a seed packet on a shelf. Without planting. Without saying a word. His father had known the seeds had a home that was not his. He had kept them carefully. He had waited for the day to return them. He had not been able to. So he had left the task for Dong-jun. Not with the words, "I was not able to do it. Just could not plant them. Return them." Would you have asked the old man to tell you more about those young years in the photograph? Or would you have left that in the past and simply watched him hold the seeds? The old man picked up the packet again. He held it in both hands. He looked at the cord tied at the top. His father's knot. He looked at the faded writing. Sung-man's handwriting. He held it for a long time without speaking. Then he said, "Dong-jun, these seeds are back where they belong." Sung-man returned them. Late, but he returned them. "I will plant them next spring in this field. This soil has been waiting for them." Dong-jun said, "My father would have been glad to hear that." The old man said, "I know. I knew Sung-man well enough to know that. Now his son knows it too." They sat without speaking for a while. Through the window the freshly turned field was visible. April. Spring arriving. warm enough now to plan what would grow. The seeds were back in the hands of the man, whose family had kept them for generations. On the bus home, Dong-jun watched the window. The low fields, almost no snow left anywhere, water running from every eave, leaves just beginning on the branches. Spring, fully arriving now. His father had been a quiet man, but not a man without understanding. He had known where seeds belonged. He had not forced them into the wrong earth. He had waited. He had kept them carefully. He had trusted his son to return them when he could not. That was who his father had been. A man who understood the nature of things, who waited for the right time, even when the right time did not come in his own lifetime. What is kept in patience is not always lost. Sometimes it waits in an old seed packet, at the back of a storage shelf for 25 years, waiting for the season when it can finally go back into the right earth. If this story stayed with you, the next one begins here too.